Today is transfer deadline day, the 1st of September 2025. The window slams shut later today around the world, so clubs will no longer be able to make permanent transfers to their squad, either in or out. Of course, loan deals can still happen, and emergency transfers, free transfers, that sort of thing. So these moves still can happen, but of course the conventional transfer deadline day is today. But interestingly, pretty much every big league in Europe, everyone that follows the usual August to May kind of rotation, obviously there are some that go via the calendar these days still. I think Norway's one of them because of the winter. Anyway, I'm digressing. Let's focus on the task in hand here, because I want to talk about the fact that the deadline day is a good few weeks after the season actually starts. We've had 3 matches in the Premier League season, 3 matches over in the Bundesliga, La Liga, Serie A, they've all started about 3 weeks ago. So my question is, really, should we actually have a transfer deadline day that passes before the season starts? Now, of course, some people may say, well, that means that you get 3 weeks less to do the business. Well, does that really matter, really, when it comes to these transfers? Just move it 3 weeks earlier. The amount of clubs and players and agents that stall just waiting for deadline day, waiting for someone else to blink, it always happens. It always drags these things out. Just look at Alexander Isak. That looked to be an absolute loggerhead for so long, but it's going to happen today. Liverpool have had a bid accepted for his services from Newcastle United, so it's gonna happen. So I don't think it really changed anything in terms of deals being done. I don't think it'd alter anything, because at the end of the day, we've got a weird situation right now, and it seems to be very prevalent this season more than any others, where there are a lot of players, Isak included, Yoane Wissa at Brentford, and now Emi Martinez as well at Aston Villa, where they're rumoured very heavily to be leaving the clubs, and the managers are leaving them out of the squads, whether it's because they refuse to play, whether it's because they're actually carrying an injury, or whether it's because the manager thinks that their head isn't in the game. That is what Unai Emery is claiming at Aston Villa, saying about Emi Martinez, look, he's fit and available, but I don't want to choose him right now. His head is not in the game, basically, and that's as far as he really went with that. Whether he's going to go to Manchester United or not is another talking point, but at the end of the day, it's a very strange one for clubs, and I'm sure a lot of fans of so-called little clubs, basically any club these days that's outside of the rich 7, the traditional top 6 plus Newcastle, and even you can probably say Newcastle as well. I mean, what's happening now with Alexander Isak, that would make Newcastle a bit of a selling club at that point. They don't want to admit it, but it's kind of true right now. You got to admit it is. I mean, the amount of players they've missed out on this transfer window to top 6 clubs, it shows that Newcastle are not in the financial kind of level of these top 6 clubs. And because of that, you've got a lot of players that maybe do really well in the opening few games of the season. They get a transfer somewhere else. You don't really see that with the Premier League clubs, but you do with clubs further down the leagues. They'll have a few games at the start of the season where they play really well, and then they get transferred out. And they'll have an entire pre-season sometimes as well with their old club, as it were, and then join their new club. And it's just very chop and change. I don't like it personally, and I feel like it takes away some of the shine from the opening games of the season in a sense, because it's like, well, this team's doing really well now, but they're going to get like X, Y, and Z in a few weeks. Take Manchester City, for example. They've lost 2 of their opening 3 games of the season. They've lost the previous 2 matches in the Premier League, but you can't really say that that is going to be an accurate representation of their season, because they've still got a lot of players to come in. They've had players been coming in as well. Gianluigi Donnarumma, heavily rumoured to be going over to the Etihad, of course. I believe he's landed in Manchester just now, according to Sky Sports News, as I record this. So for me, really, and I think Shay Given said this on the broadcast, I think it was Leeds against Newcastle at the weekend, I really agree with him. I do agree with him. I do think that the transfer window should shut before the Premier League season starts. And the same for the EFL as well, because the EFL started 2 weeks before the Premier League, 1 week before the Premier League as well. So, yeah, before the football season starts, as it were, top 4 professional divisions in England, I believe that they should close the transfer window beforehand. I don't see why not. Of course, they probably won't, because drama and all that sort of stuff, all that kind of buzz. But if they really want to have the same period of time being a transfer window, then just move the transfer window starting earlier. They did that for the Club World Cup anyway this year, so clearly they can do it if they want to. But yeah, guys, get your thoughts in the comments below. Should transfer deadline day be the day before the start of the Premier League season, or the day before the start of the English football season in England? Obviously, apply that to whatever league you want around the world, because they all start at slightly different times. But yeah, your thoughts in the comments below. Like, share, comment, subscribe. As always, guys, have a fantastic day wherever in the world today. As much as I criticise it, hope we enjoy deadline day as well today.